Hi, I'm Jim Watson. This is Call to Battle. Now, I decided to take on something that I read on a couple of weeks ago where it said, why is it no one ever preaches or teaches on Song of Solomon? It's the book of intimacy in the Bible. And it seems like, yeah, I was thinking about, yeah, we avoid that book. And if you've ever read it, you know why churches avoid it, which, no, should they? I mean, maybe this is why people have a difficult time in relationships. We're not really going into the details like they did in Song of Solomon. The beautiful thing about the Song of Solomon, there's discussion over, who was it really talking? Is just God talking about his love for us? Is it actually love between Solomon and his wife? And I think for me, I'm like, yeah, it does both things. But one thing about this book of Song of Solomon is where I like how I go by saying that a man rejects passivity, accepts responsibility, leads courageously. In his book, we see that going on. Solomon does not hesitate to tell his wife how much he loves her. I mean, he doesn't just say, I love you. He goes into detail of her beauty and what it means to him. And, and he's using the words that he knows pleases her. And, I tell men, you got to know your wife. You have to know your wife. As men, that's our job. It's stuff like, what's her love language? What is it? Is it praise? Is it receiving gifts? Is it words of affirmation? No. Is it finding time for her? What is her love language? That's important to know. I mean, I tell men, well, you have to know what color she likes. No, they call it, what season is she? Women have different seasons or different colors and that they wear that look good on them. They have to know their season. But it's these type of things we're called to know about our wife, that we know her this well. We know her dress size, so we can buy her clothes. I know where my wife likes to shop. I know what clothes fit, what certain styles fit women better than other styles. And I'll tell you what, right now, your wife, she has certain people she goes to, people, designers that fit her best. And that's who she favors. That's who she likes. That's who she wants it from. But it's not just to say, oh, the word people use, say, oh, you're just a simp, just having your wife boss you around. It's like, no, that's not what it's about. Because when it comes to things like anniversaries and holidays, birthdays, we should know how to buy for our wife. It shows we love her. She needs these words that we verbally say, we love you, and tell why we love them. What is it about them we love? This is something they want to hear. This is something we should desire to tell them. And this is all part of, what a man does. And there's a discussion, Song of Solomon. There's this one verse, and I'm like, I'm not sure. I've looked at it, I've studied, but I remember this being taught on once. And I loved how the guy taught it. But this verse is, how handsome you are, my beloved, and how charming, and our bed is verdant. It's like, what the heck does verdant mean? Now, a lot of times it means like leafy and maybe a canopy, lush. It has all these terms. And one pastor I heard who taught on this said that they're actually talking about what the tree was made out of. That his wife had to leave her country, to marry Solomon, left her country to live with him. And that Solomon had their bed made out of from the type of tree that she was from. So he went back to their land, cut down trees that are from her land, brought it to where he was, Israel, and basically made the bed out of that wood. So he showed that, hey, I know you left your country. I know you're here with me, that I'm your family now. But I can tell you, no, I appreciate what you do. I love you. And so the bed was made out of the wood from her country. It's just a wonderful, wonderful act. And it's in these acts that we show our wife we love them. We can say we love you, but if we're never around, do we? We say we love you, but we don't remember birthdays or anniversaries, do we? But these acts we do is not just so, we won't get in trouble. When you love a person, they mean something to you. You value them. It's like every Christmas, I want to get my wife a gift that has meaning to her. I can get clothes or whatever. She always appreciates it. She thanks me, but I'm always looking for something that's going to mean something to her. And like this year, last Christmas, my wife and I renewed our vows in October. So what I got is I got a table runner, and I had pictures from our renewal vows, and I put it on the table runner. I had it, I sent it out. They put the pictures of our renewal vows on this table runner, her favorite pictures from that day. And since our oldest son has passed away, I also put her favorite picture of him on the table runner, because we did not forget about him. He's very much in our minds, in our hearts on that day. And so this table runner is just a picture of that day when we renewed our vows. She loves that table runner. It has been on our table since Christmas, and it just means a lot to her. It wasn't real expensive. No, it didn't cost much at all. Took me a little time to pick out. I knew which pictures were her favorite. I basically did it all online. I went online. You download the pictures. You pick the color of tablecloth you want, and you pay for it, and then they mailed it to me. So it wasn't like it was a huge amount of time, but it took some time. But I wanted to make sure she knew that, that renewal vow was not only was important to you, it was very important to me. And I want us to continue to celebrate that day. And it was her favorite present, and continues to be one of her favorite presents I've ever gotten her. Just these acts of love, these acts of thinking about them, is amazing, the impact it has. And in Song of Solomon, you just have this husband who's just praising his wife. I mean, he tells her how beautiful she is. I love the wording he uses. Then she uses the wording too of, calls him, you're a stag, you're strong, you're powerful. This is what a man wants to hear too. And then he's telling her about her beauty and how surpassing it is, and women in awe of how beautiful you are. These words people like to hear, our wives like to hear, that men like to hear. And these two know how to speak to each other. They know how to speak words of love to one another. It impacts a marriage big time. But, do we think it's worth it? You'd be crazy to think it's not. But there is as I tell people when I do weddings and I'm marrying people and I'm counseling them, I always tell them, I said, listen, if you think having a good marriage is easy, then don't get married. It's not. It's work. It is work to have a good marriage. If you sit and do nothing, if you're lax, it's going to be awful. Anything you value takes work. It takes an effort. And if you put the effort in, the rewards tend to be pretty wonderful. And in a marriage, you got to put the work in. And if you're going to be a man, you're going to reject passivity. You're going to accept responsibility. You're going to lead courageously. You expect a greater reward, God's reward. This makes it strong. This makes it powerful. And this makes an impact. So that's what I got for you this week. Hope you're having a great week. I'll talk to you soon. God bless.